I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw, he came to my ears and whispered, "Please be easy on me." He thought I'm Mike Tyson, and I will follow his script 40 seconds after I broke the clown's jaw. We are boxers, not content creators. I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw, I didn't want to put him down early. You all know I was handcuffed. I don't want to say anything that I will be regretting in the future, but all I can say now is the first 20 seconds was enough for me to end Jake Paul.
It's like this is the clearest fixed fight you're ever gonna see. But look at this guy holding his hands up and watch. Watch that. He literally shows him his chin, and he goes down. It's so fake. Look at, he's got nothing. It's like a guy who just learned boxing.
The day after I woke up and told my wife, "Why did I do that?" I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on. I remember one thing. I had a very hard moment in that part of my life. But I assure you, in that age, I could have put that clown in the first round, but I sold my soul. And I'm
a guy who just had a boxing match that looks like a sparring match with a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. And then you're going to fight one of the absolute scariest knockout artists in the heavyweight division.
The gap between what we expect and what actually happens is where the truth slips through. And it's happening everywhere if we stop pretending. The whole Tyson situation still gets to me because memory loss isn't just some funny story, it's a warning sign. Warnings don't go off randomly. Whether it's physical, mental, or something deeper that no one wants to talk about, it creates an uncomfortable feeling that was never truly dealt with, just swept under the rug with all the hype. But now, Joshua's punch has brought it all back to the surface. So, who's responsible for putting this mess in motion? Who's the one that let this happen?
That guy did great for someone who's been boxing for less than a decade. He has had no real professional opponents other than Tommy Fury that were legitimate world-class boxers.
Pros see the fight through a different lens, and this rocked the fighters behind the scenes. They didn't see drama. They saw timing, distance, and intent. What they saw was a fighter realizing too late the rules had changed, and that fear is real. It means the safety net was a lie, and lies destroy careers fast. That's why Rogan's tone flipped. It wasn't morality, it was a warning. He's seen the damage before. He knows when a storm's coming. Don't think those in suits didn't play out the worst case scenarios. They do it for breakfast. What we're witnessing now is reputation control, live. Calm faces, panic behind closed doors. The longer clarity takes, the louder the suspicion grows. If things were clear, answers would come fast. Instead, we're getting layers, deals, and filtered responses. And that's never good. So when you hear delays, deals, or pauses, know there's pressure behind the curtain. Ask yourself, who's pulling the strings in all this confusion?
Oh, no, I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little. Listen, know what I remember? Coming back from the first round. And then the next day I remember Jake is doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
Oh, yeah, a little bow at the end. He bowed.
And that's the last thing I remember. But the day after the fight, the day after I woke up and told my wife, "Why did I do that?" I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on.
What did you think of Jake's power, man, when you were in there?
I don't remember it. But my body was really sore. Yeah, my body, my chest, my stomach and stuff was really sore.
I keep coming back to Joshua, not as a hero or villain, but as the spark. He didn't create the problem, he exposed it too soon. And exposure is deadly because it kills control. And control was the real power here. Control over the narrative, the outcome, everything. One punch stripped that away. And control doesn't go down quietly. So expect pushback, expect the spin, expect people to suddenly remember things differently. Because once control slips, everyone scrambles for something to hold on to even if it's a lie.
He's also nuts, right? Just the fact that he's willing to fight the two-time heavyweight champion, former Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
A guy who's gigantic in his prime, built like a Greek god.
Yeah.
And you're going to stand, and he's a one-punch killer. And you're going to stand in front of that?
Joe Rogan hit the nail on the head when he pointed out what Joshua's performance made clear. Some will brush it off and say, it's boxing, injuries happen. But that's lazy. Context matters. This context is soaked in marketing promises of legitimacy that were never earned. When the hype outpaces reality, someone has to pay the price, and that price was paid in broken bones and metal. Now, that bill's being passed around, hoping someone else will foot it. And no, I don't think Jake Paul is evil. I think he's a product, and products get pushed until they break. Then, everyone fights over the fine print.
It's you could only take so much. And at a certain, like that one that he got from Joshua, ooh. You know, say if you have like a punch card, you have like so many punches that you can get in your life, which I believe you do. I believe there's a certain number. That one was like 10 punches.
Yeah.
That was like, there was a lot of concussions in that one punch.
Sure.
That was real damage.
Here's the part you're not ready for. There's a chilling effect already spreading. Fighters are second-guessing. Commissions are asking tougher questions. Insurers are raising eyebrows. And easy money is suddenly nervous. When that easy money dries up, loyalty disappears fast. That's when praise turns into quiet distance. And fans aren't dumb, they love the spectacle, but they respect authenticity. Joshua brought that raw, unforgiving authenticity. And once fans experience that again, the watered-down versions won't cut it anymore. And that's terrifying for those whose business thrives on blurred lines.
In pain?
Yeah, but it's not from like talking.
Talk to me about what your jaw feels like, because you got
It's like a baseball in there.
two
then-
plates,
It just feels like
4 titanium plates.
4 titanium.
I keep asking myself what happens if Paul comes back mentally changed, because once a fighter realizes he can be broken, the ring never feels the same again. It feels heavier, colder, and that loud confidence people see turns into an act. And fake confidence is how careers get destroyed. That's history, not opinion. And behind the scenes, there's a legal shadow nobody wants to talk about, because this wasn't just a bad moment. It was a public embarrassment with real consequences. What we're seeing now is the polished version. But the real decisions are happening behind closed doors, where blame is shifting and stories are quietly being rewritten. Influencer boxing won't collapse overnight. But the damage is done. The well is poisoned, and poisoned wells don't explode, they go silent. And silence is deadly when attention is everything. So watch who stops talking first, because what really lingers isn't the punch, it's the pause. Everyone knows something irreversible happened. And this story isn't over. It's about to get darker.
I'm just hoping after the Floyd fight, maybe we can have a rematch. He did well, but I want to try it again.
Is that something that you would be interested in terms of writing it wrong and knocking him out?
I would be interested. Yes, I would. I would be interested in that.
This ends with commissions panicking, insurers backing away, and a business model bleeding out in plain sight. And if you blinked, you missed the exact moment it all went wrong, because reality punched through the script when Joshua treated Paul like any normal fighter, and the fantasy collapsed instantly. The silence after that punch was louder than the crowd. And this wasn't just a knockout. It was leverage disappearing in real time. Because Jake Paul didn't build a boxing career. He built a controlled environment. And those only work until someone stops playing along. Joshua didn't showboat or rebel. He just did his job like an elite professional. And that alone shattered the illusion. Now everyone's talking slower, choosing words carefully, dodging responsibility. Because when truth gets dangerous, it suddenly hates daylight. This isn't about bravery or toughness. It's about liability, signatures, and approvals that never expected the ceiling to be hit this hard. And now it's concrete and everyone's staring at it. Influencer boxing won't die overnight, but it's changed forever. Because once the gap is exposed, you can't unsee it. Confidence has been punched in the mouth. Narratives are slipping. Private conversations are colder than anything said on camera. And this isn't finished, it's uncomfortable, unstable, and feels like the quiet right before something snaps. Do you really think Jake Paul had anything to do with this? Or was he involved in the accident in any way at all? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe to Fighters Arena Pro for more real boxing talk.